Hey guys, welcome to lesson 1.3, and today we're going to be going over the Quantitative Skills Quiz that you can find on page 5 of the study guide that is linked in the channel description. I really encourage you to go ahead and take the quiz on your own before you watch this video, because I'm just going to be explaining the answers and working through it, and hopefully you guys get some right. So, first question is on number series. We're given a mix of numbers and letters, and now we have to figure out what is missing. So, first thing I can see is that it's in alphabetical order. If you know your ABCs, then you know that QRS comes after elemental P. So, we know it's either A or B because these are the only two options with QRS. So, that's our first pattern, alphabetical order. Then our second pattern is numerical. We see 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. So likely the next number is going to have a 5 as a subscript, and a subscript is that little number in the bottom. We call that a subscript. Our next number will likely have a 5 because we have 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, and now 2 5s. So we see in option A that it has a second 5 followed by a 6, which makes the most sense when comparing it to the rest of the series, so option A is the right answer. So, second question is another series question. It's asking what should come next, and we're given 78, 71, 64, and 57. So we know that 78 minus 7 equals 71, 71 minus 7 equals 64, 64 minus 7 equals 57. So we'll likely have to subtract 7 from 57 to get our next missing number. And we know that 57 minus 7 equals 50, which is option choice D. Next number series question is asking what should come next, and we're given 10, 5, 20, 10, and 40. So we can see that first we divide 10 divided by 2 equals 5, then we're multiplying by 4, then we're dividing by 2, then we're multiplying by 4, and we're likely going to have to divide by 2 again for the next number, and 40 divided by 2 equals 20, which is option choice C. So in this problem, we have two alternating patterns. First, we're dividing by 2 and then multiplying by 4. So the last series question, sorry, not the second to last series question, is using Roman numerals. So this is a little tricky. I threw this in here just so you can get a glimpse of some Roman numerals, maybe look at it once or twice before the exam, but you really don't need to go ahead and memorize them. I know I didn't, and I still did pretty well, but let's look at this question. Look at the series. What number should come next? And we're given 2, 3, 5, 8, and 12. And here is a Roman numerals chart, just so you could take a look at what they are. So we're given this 2, the 3, the 5, the 8, and the 12. And knowing that 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, let's look at the common trend. From 2 to 3, we're adding 1. From 3 to 5, we're adding 2. From 5 to 8, we're adding 3. From 8 to 12, we're adding 4. So the difference between each number is increasing by 1 as we go on. So plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, and then 12 plus 5 will probably give us our next number, and 12 plus 5 is 17. And just in case you didn't know your Roman numerals, the answer is A. This is 17. Like I said, you probably don't need to go ahead and sit down and memorize it. There's a lot of other things you need to memorize. Roman numerals is not one of them, but I did wanted to show you what that would look like regardless. So now here's the last number series question, and it's asking what should fill the blank in the middle of the series. And we're given 816, 408, the blank, 102, and 51. So right off the bat, I can see that 408 times 2 will give us 816, because 400 plus 400 equals 800, and then 8 plus 8 equals 16, and that would give us 816. And I can show you that here on the side with the calculator. Times 2 will give us 816. Then 51 times 2 will also give us 102 because 50 plus 50 equals 100. 1 plus 1 equals 2. And I'll show you that here on the side again with the calculator. Equals 102. So likely, whatever this middle number is, will be half of 408 and double 102. So 102 times 2 equals 204, and 408 divided by 2 equals 204. That is answer choice B. Now we're moving on to non-geometric and geometric comparison problems with number 6. It's giving us 4 lines and now we have to compare them. So let's just take a look at the options and start comparing it with what we're given. A is longer than D. Well, that's not true because we can see that they're the same length. Option choice B is saying that B and D are the same length. Well, D looks like a little shorter than B, so that's wrong too. Option choice C is saying A is shorter than B but longer than D. Well, A is shorter than B, but it isn't longer than D because they're the same. So option choice D says that A plus D is longer than C. Well, you could probably, if you have it printed out in the study guide, you could probably draw it and you would see that's longer. But just based on the fact that the last 3 option choices were wrong, we can assume that D is correct. So number 7 is giving us 3 circles and parts of the circles are shaded. So we're going to use the same process as the last one where we just go through the option choices, see which ones are true and which ones are false. A and C are equally shaded. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each little circle has 8 pieces, and this one has 3 of the 8 pieces shaded. You can write that down on the side. A is 3 over 8. B has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces shaded, which equals 4 over 8, or 1/2. And then C, sorry, this is really annoying me. Then C has 2 over 8 pieces shaded, which can be simplified into 1/4. So now that we know how much each circle is shaded, now we can compare the answer choices, see which are true, which are false. So option A is saying A and C are equally shaded. Well, we know that's not true because C is a little less shaded than A. Option choice B is saying A is more shaded than B, but less shaded than C. Well, that's false because B is more shaded than A. Option choice C is saying A is less shaded than B, but more shaded than C. Well, we know A is less shaded than B and is more shaded than C, so that's correct. But let's go ahead and look at option D anyways. Of the 3, A is the least shaded. That's not true because C is the least shaded. So the correct option choice for number 7 is C. Next problem is asking about the number of x's in each figure. So let's just go ahead and tally them up. So figure A has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 x's. Option choice B has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 x's. And option choice C has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 x's. There you go. Now you guys can see a little better. And now that we know how many x's each figure has, we can compare the answer choices to find the correct one. So option A is saying A and C have an equal number of x's. We know that's wrong. C has 1 more than A. Option choice B is saying that C has 1 more than A has. Well, that's correct. But let's just go ahead and read through the rest to double check. Option choice C is saying that A plus B equals C. Well, A plus B equals 17, which does not equal 11, which is C. Option D is saying A plus B minus C equals 5. Well, A plus B equals 17 minus C, 17 minus 11 equals 6, not 5. So B is the correct option for number 8. So just 2 more, guys. Almost there. So number 9 is telling us to examine A, B, and C. We do have to do a little bit of solving. So the first option is telling us 1/3 of 123. Well, here's how I like to solve questions like this. I like to use cross multiplication. So that would mean 1 times 123 over 3 should give us x. And I'll do that out for you here. 1 times 123 over 3 gives us 41, which is our x. So then B is 8 to the power 2 minus 23. Well, 8 to the power of 2 minus 23 is equivalent to 64, because 8 to the power of 2 is 64, minus 23, and that equals 41 as well. Option choice C is telling us 9 times 9 minus 40, 9 times 9 equals 81, minus 40 equals 41 as well. So we can see that A, B, and C are all equivalent to each other, which is option choice A. You can go ahead and check that if you'd like, but for the sake of time, keeping this video short, I will be moving on to the last question, which is number 10, and it's telling us to examine A, B, and C and find the best answer. So we're just going to use the same method as we did in number 9. We're going to go ahead and solve the mini problems in options A, B, and C, and then compare it to our answer choices. So A is a percentage question. 5% of 45, I would do 5 over 100, because that's equivalent to 5%, equals what over 45? And we could just do a nice little cross multiplication problem like we did in number 9. So 5 times 45 over 100 is 2.25, which equals our x. Option B is saying 1/6 of 12. So 1/6 equals what over 12? We can use cross multiplication again. So we do 1 times 12 over 6 equals our x, and we're told that x equals 2. Our last problem is another percentage problem. Again, we're going to do cross multiplication. 10 over 100 equals 10%, and we're trying to find what it equals, so x over 22. Cross multiplication, 10 times 22 over 100 will give us our x, which equals 2.2. So part A equals 2.25, part B equals 2, and part C equals 2.2. So now we can compare our option choices based on what we found when we solved them and see which ones are true and which ones are false. So option A is saying A and C are equal. Well, we know that's not true. Option B is saying A is less than B. That's not true. A is greater than B. Option C is saying C is less than A. Well, that is true. But let's go ahead and check number D. C is greater than A. That's false. So the correct option for number 10 is C. C is less than A. So that's all for this mini quiz. Hopefully you did well. If you didn't, please do more practice problems. And see you guys in the next lesson.